forum. And I would like to welcome trustee Connor to the committee and to the board. Anything that you hear Lana and I say probably would be held against you in a court of law. Repeated. Welcome, thank you for your service to the village. And that's about all I have for there. The chair will make a motion to approve the consent agenda, which consists of October 15, 25 agenda and September 17, 2025 minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by your trustee Radke. Any discussion? Hearing no request to speak, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that carries. Anybody online, Marty?
No.
Okay, public comments on the agenda items. We'll have our chance to speak later. Chairman, I have absolutely nothing. As Marty pointed out, I have supper at 4:30, so. We're gonna go into Department of Public Works report, budget discussion. Mr. Coordinator Administrator, take over.
So in your packet, I have attached the draft budget, just marked on the top 10-14-25. As we discussed in the committee of the whole budget meeting, as past members know, this changes daily, weekly, right? No matter end of the year projections, things come in, so this does change. This gets you a good idea where we're looking for budget towards finishing this year and next year. Everything looks in good shape for this year. The only big bill we're waiting for yet is the lining of Verbunker, Wood County. We teamed up them to do fiberglass lining underneath Verbunker Ripple Creek project. So the project is completed. The bill has been sent to Wood County and we should be receiving it here in the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of the big number that's sitting out there.
Any
That'll
guesstimate?
finish that. The estimate on the project was 80,000. Mr. Hawk did call me and said we were under the budget number. The village did some crew guys did a lot of extra work. So I believe we're underneath that number. So I think we'll be in decent shape. So I don't see any big issues with that. Just wanting like to get that number, get it in here and get that bill paid. So finishing out 2024 or 25, I don't see any budget issues. We've got money for plowing. Obviously this time of year, we're doing leaf pickup. Guys are working a couple hours tonight, kind of wet this morning. So there's not a lot of, we got the railroad crossing done on Verbunker, as we discussed earlier this year. We're not gonna paint the white line, so we got the railroad crossing done on that road. So that was kind of the last of the summer projects. Had a manhole we adjusted on 4th and Verbunker today, just adjusted a ring. We'll do a little patch material next week for blacktop. Other than that, I think we're sitting good. Guys have been starting to work on getting ready for winter and things like that. So I feel we're in good shape there. Moving into the 25 budget, the big thing is we talk about we're replacing the sucker truck in 2027. So realistically in 2026, which is next year, we're looking to put 60 to 70,000 in the capital outlay fund. That's money put aside for a truck. And that way in 2027, we can put another 60, 70 away, try to have 150, 140 towards a new truck. At the end of the day, we're not hoping to borrow for a new truck. That way we have money in our 400 account and we can purchase that truck without having to borrow. Something we've always been very good as a village prior to administrators is basically buying equipment without borrowing. And I believe from talking to most board members, they would like to try to keep that. So, again, there's no purchase items for vehicles in public works this year. We're basically looking to, move ahead, so taxpayers say we didn't buy anything well, but we're planning so we don't have to borrow money and put a 10-year loan on borrowing a truck. So that's where that is. Road projects next year, we're gonna do some alleyway blacktopping, our normal chip sealing, road painting, things like that come up. But a lot of our money probably towards next year is gonna be going for the engineering of 2nd Street from the municipal building up to Verbunker. Obviously we had MSA here a couple months ago and we talked about grants that we're gonna be applying for. And obviously as we get going into this, we're eventually gonna need to start engineering this road so that we can get some firm numbers on what the project is actually gonna cost. Yesterday at 4 o'clock, we had another round of grants that we applied to Wood County for. Next week, Tuesday morning, I go to 9 o'clock meeting at Wood County.
Is that what seed committee?
Yes, to see if we can get some more funding. So, the next couple months, until our January, we'll be trying to see where the funding is. In January, I'll bring MSA back and we'll put some hard numbers on this. Engineering, what it's gonna be. But again, when you look at the budget, engineering is gonna take up some of the capital fund. So we can start moving forward this project. Again, that project is scheduled for 2027. That way 26, we can try to get some grants together, get our funding, work on how we can fund the project. And then 2027, we can get, try to get tackling that project. Otherwise the public works budget's pretty straight up. Try to kind of look through the areas. Obviously, just like at home, maintaining our equipment's expensive, right? I mean, that's the fuel, that's tires, you name it. So, that's, we have a lot of good equipment, but the good equipment takes a lot to maintain and the guys do a great job maintaining it. And my philosophy is I'd rather have them guys out using the machinery than spending all day working on it. So we try to make sure that we have good equipment so we don't spend time fixing and not actually out there doing the public services. So other than that, I'm not gonna go line through line item. I can talk to Trustee O'Connor after that if he has any question on it. I think the rest of you, the board members, have been through that. So as in budget, that's all I have unless anybody has any questions.
What's, public work only, any increase next year at the county? We, have everybody buttoned down to 3%. In public safety, which I chair up there, came in at 287. Their, public works committee is 17% over, but they got big toys, and we did take away a $345,000 patrol vehicle, but just couldn't do it this year. So,
and if you want to look at the final numbers on page 10, so page 10, if you look at it, 2025 budgeted was 293. And again, these numbers are going to change right now. In 26, we're actually down a little bit, but I think you're going to see that increase.
That's what
when we can get some other numbers, right?
That's why I asked them. Yep. Because I wanted to see if it went up from our last.
So this, obviously FHR will be discussing wages. We did, there is an increase in this budget built in. The salaries do come out of this budget, but obviously FHR makes all the decisions on the wage, but this budget does have a increase.
Well, the step system at the county, they're getting 2.5% next year. And we dropped the COLA from 2.5% down to 1%, so they're still getting 3.5%. I'm sure they're not gonna be happy losing the COLA, but yet 3.5%. I know, since I've been on the board, most every year has been 3%, but could be getting a little sticky. There's some indicators out there now that are not really, thank God we're not a farming community.
Yep, yeah, so this has that increase in, I mean, I do believe, again, me and Diane had numbers talking, I do believe when we're also on the budget, the number from this year, last year is gonna be pretty close to it.
So you think that, like you say, things could change, especially if something really big happens with a street or something, that we could be at 3% or under?
That's what my, like I said, I use the past practice from the board. And that's what we have built in now. Again, I know FHR will be discussing that, but just kind of went off the previous years of what they've done. So,
gentlemen, any questions for Ben? No. Madam President, any questions for Ben?
No, sir.
All righty, talking about myself here, item number 7, old business. I can't remember anything.
we were just talking, we're buttoned up, I think last time we had a meeting, we were buttoning up that bunker project, but it's all buttoned up and things are in good shape, so.
Good. New business. Anything on the horizon, Ben?
No, next month, we will bring back the budget again. It'll be a more firmer budget. Because we'll be getting close to the revealing it to the village, so we'll have some numbers locked in, and if I see something big changes, I'll definitely try to email you guys, keep you aware, so we don't surprise you.
Well, next board meeting is the same day. By statute, we have to move our county board meeting to the second Wednesday of November instead of our usual third Tuesday. So that morning, we're gonna have board meeting and we'll approve our budget at that meeting, so I'll be able to fill you in on what we're gonna do on that.
What day is it? What was the date?
November 12th will be our next village board meeting, Wednesday night, the 12th.
Is it at 12? That's,
For next
Yes.
month, yeah.
so then, when we meet at 7 o'clock, I can give a little dissertation if.
Yeah.
I promise not to go past 20 minutes. Lon won't
I
let me
think we'd
go
all
2
appreciate
minutes.
that. Cliff notes,
Alrighty.
Cliff notes.
Correspondence received, I have nothing. Madam President, anything?
Just a minute.
Ben? Okay, Lon,
Nothing.
I'll ask you next month.
I'm-
Committee member comments.
The only thing I will say is obviously the December board meeting will be that first week, December 3rd, and then we have
That's the
Thanksgiving,
Tuesday, right?
be a Wednesday, the 3rd.
Wednesday?
The 3rd will be the board meeting for December, because we'll move that earlier, and then we've got Thanksgiving the last week of November.
November, so. everything-
Thanksgiving, though, the only thing that it could interfere with is Chairman Fluger's public safety, because that's on the Wednesday before generally, so.
Correct.
Okay, agenda items. Anything out of the ordinary, budget review? That's about it, huh?
Yeah, we'll just keep going working on the budget.
Okay, before I adjourn the meeting, just again, welcome.
Thank you.
And, we'll have a few interesting conversations, I'm sure, as we go forward. Stay on the good side of the village president. Don't worry about the FHR, the Power Committee Chairman. And I at Public Works, we're just kind of always laid back, so we try and temper her, but sometimes.
Oh, you might wanna adjourn this meeting, sir.
Before she hits me, I'm gonna declare this meeting adjourned without objection at 4:14 PM. Thank you.